tonight? Oh, I'm meeting my friend and we'll be playing Catan.
Okay,
Uh,
amazing.
Alright.
All right,
Right?
so we are live with Mihir, and we're going to talk about how to build software. Mihir has built lots of application just in like 30 seconds. The things you have built,
Well,
can you list them quickly?
Yeah, so one of my first projects was a Monopoly simulator, which would play millions of games of Monopoly and figure out the best strategy to win Monopoly. I'd actually never lost a game of Monopoly after that.
Wow. Okay.
That's yeah. Another thing I built was I built a bunch of websites for nonprofits. Then I built a dating app in college, as one does. Uh, then I worked at Amazon for 3 years during college. Built a lot of internal systems at Amazon. Uh, then I left Amazon, and now I'm working on my own startup
Yep.
at Build Space with Ronak. Uh, and now I'm trying to take away my own job with open sourcing Devin. So that's that's kind of my my journey. Yeah.
Have you guys named the project yet?
I think we're landing on Devon.
Devon.
Devon with an O. So Devon.
DEV.
Devon.
Yeah, Devon.
Yeah,
Right?
Devon. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
Devon.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How are you pronouncing it?
Devon.
Devon?
Yeah.
Same as Devon?
That's Devon. This is Devon.
Devon. I think
Yeah,
you should call it,
it's
you should
like
call it Devon.
I want to call it Devant, like savant, like in the French, Devant,
Okay.
Devon. But anyways,
All right. So Devon basically writes code for you,
yeah,
and it's just basically AI developer.
AI coworker assistant,
Yeah.
or a
Something
pet
like GitHub
programmer.
Copilot.
But more involved.
Yeah,
as
more
part-
involved.
Yeah.
Yep. Amazing. All right. So today we are going to talk about how to build cool ideas that you have. One of the ideas I had was about AI hardware getting popular, and now the problem will less be AI hardware and more be just making really good software around it. So we can just like kickstart that with maybe interface where I can drop all my voice notes, then the tool converts it into transcripts, or if I already drop all the transcripts, I should be able to like put prompts on top of it and get some insights out of my daily conversation. So for example, this is my eventual plan. Let's say this is my Apple Watch, and
Yeah.
you can record stuff right on here,
Yeah.
or there are like lots of open source AI hardware already out that you can use. So this is recording right now.
Yeah.
So all the recordings I have 24/7.
Yeah.
I'll put it in Whisper.
Yeah.
Get the transcript.
Yeah.
And from that transcript, get lots of things like
Yeah.
it's just infinite things. So yeah, that's one of the thing I want to build. So this is how it should look like when I go to the landing page. After
So
basic,
the goal is to learn how to build, right?
the goal is to learn how to build, but we are gonna do this with a project.
Exactly.
Yes, we're gonna do this with project because when you have a project,
It's much easier to learn. Exactly.
You know what exact specific things.
So
you're gonna
the
learn.
one thing to keep in mind is everyone keeps asking all the time is like, oh, how do I learn how to make software? How do I learn how to do this? And the best advice and the best thing is have something to build
Right.
before wanting. Don't try to learn React.
Yeah.
You should want to learn how to make something that uses React, that happens to use React. Don't focus on React itself. Focus on the project or what you want to build or what excites you. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Yeah,
That's a very good point. Very good point.
which is why we are starting with the project.
Sounds good. So what do you think? Like generally, if you are making this project,
Yeah, how do I approach it?
Yeah. Like how much time do you think it would take you, like me here as a person, to make this project?
Probably a day.
Probably a day. Okay.
To get a shitty version out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the best way to do something like when you don't know whether something is good or not is to build a very I like to call it stupidly simple version.
Yes.
Where it's very stupid, but it gets the job done, so that you can validate the idea whether that idea is good or not.
Sounds good.
So, yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
okay. So this is the idea.
Yeah.
Again, I'll be uploading the voice notes.
Yeah.
And the output I want is like something I can prompt my transcripts, and get basically the answer. So the APIs we'll have to use is Google Whisper APIs
Mm-hmm.
and probably GPT-4.
Mm-hmm.
Any other APIs you can think of?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I want to focus on the APIs are fine.
Okay.
The APIs is not what should be focused on. It's like what what do we build that will capture the essence of what what you want, so that once we have that, then we can add features, we can add APIs, we can do all of that. But like, what is the simplest thing that if you build is that thing? If that makes sense. So for now, it could be is like literally a text box where you just dump everything,
Right.
and you can have like summaries out of it,
True.
right? So what's the simplest thing you can do? Because once you have that, you can build on top of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it make sense? So
100%. Yeah, makes sense.
so I mean, first thing we can do is like start with like writing down basic requirements, I
Yeah.
guess. So let's do a quick readme .md. So generally when you try to build something,
Okay.
it's kind of nice to
Have a README file for someone else who is gonna read your code or maybe
yeah
your
but
future
let's
self.
not jump ahead. I'm
Okay.
going to describe like the thought process
Okay.
that goes into it. So like
Sure.
first, it's kind of nice to have have a basic idea of what you what you
sure.
want to make, right?
What's up?
Whatever.
None. Faza was saying something about me and then it's
Yeah. So in this case, let's see. What do we want? We want something. A web interface, I'm guessing. So
yes, web interface for now.
web interface. You want user should be able to dump text.
Yep.
User should be
Dump voice notes.
able to dump voice notes. Yeah.
Yep.
What else? Should be able to get a summary.
Yes.
User
By default.
should be able to get summary. Now, so these are something called user stories.
User stories. Okay.
That's you don't have to always make them, but
Yeah.
if you work at a commercial setting, you generally do have to. At companies like you had to make these things, but I had to make these things at Amazon, like at a document and all that. But in most you don't have to. Just have a very simple if you have a very simple just so that you know what you're trying to make.
Makes sense.
Does help.
Okay.
Now now that you know what you want,
Right.
the next step is like trying to
Do you guys want to come to interval?
Interval?
Interval.
When?
Like right now?
Right now?
I mean,
It's 7:20.
It's like you can come in like 5 minutes or whatever.
Like everybody's going?
A lot of people are going.
Okay, we'll come in like 20 minutes.
where?
20 minutes, 30 minutes.
No, where are we going?
Interval. Right downstairs.
What's interval?
Interval is a bar.
Oh, I see.
But if I'm fine to do this for 1 hour.
Okay,
We can do it.
let's go for 20
Yeah, yeah.
minutes. Yeah. I can quickly have something running. So so the user should be able to dump text,
Yes.
dump voice notes, and
Yeah.
get a summary, right? Now we can go
Yeah.
and start making our technical decisions.
Okay.
Now that we know what we want, and in order to make the right, I think people really overspend the time that they keep arguing about whether they should use React, Svelte, or whatever, like HTMX in the backend, like Node.js, AWS, all of that. None of that matters. You can build anything with any tech,
Makes
generally.
sense.
So for now, just always choose whatever you're familiar with. What's the easiest to learn?
Right.
React is very popular, so we're probably gonna choose React, especially the Next.js flavor of React.
Is this Mon stack? Is
Uh,
it called Mon stack?
So Mern stack is it used to be popular. MongoDB, Express, Node.
React.
Yeah. That's our cursor. React and Node.js, right? Ours is not. Ours is probably like a Next.js stack, I would say, which is Next.js. I guess, and generally I'm going to be using Tailwind CSS.
Okay.
It's pretty nice.
Let's say someone who
Yeah.
do not know what these things are,
Yeah. How do
they're
you?
hearing it for the first time.
yeah.
Which one they should go with? Which one is the easiest to start
Easiest to start with, yeah. So the way you would do this right now, if you wanted to start from scratch, if you've never coded ever, I wrote a blog post a long time ago about how to approach modern web dev. The first thing you want to do is you want to learn JavaScript.
Okay.
JavaScript, then you want HTML slash and CSS. For that, a very good resource is Free Code Camp. I don't know if you've heard of Free Code Camp. One of the best resources you will ever come across. So if you go to menu and you go to curriculum,
Okay.
You can do these like challenges where there's like a question here and you write your code over there, and then you see whether that's how you
Amazing.
learn. So it's a very good way to learn web development. Oops, where's the
Probably just.
There we go.
Yep.
So it's a very good way to learn web dev. I'm just gonna put the link in here in the
Read me. Sure.
readme, so that you can like probably put it in the description or somewhere. So best place to learn.
Okay.
Alright.
And which one we should go with initially?
No, so yeah, I'm just saying these are the fundamentals.
Okay.
After that, you want to learn React. And for React, let's see what's the best place to learn React. FreeCodeCamp used to be good, but they have not updated their React page. So unfortunately, they're not the best place to learn React. The React documentation is pretty good now. So these are really good docs, and this is something you can just learn about React. So React. And then the next thing is you learn something called Next.js. And once you know React, Next.js is really not that hard. It's very simple. You can also run Tailwind, also very easy. Like once you know HTML and CSS, there's really not much you have to like learn. These are like libraries that you just you read documentation and you figure it out. All of this does take like a month and a half to really get good at it.
Each one?
Combined.
Okay.
To really like get the hang of it, but it's very doable.
6 to 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 hours a day, 4 to 6 hours a day.
Okay.
I mean, if you have coding experience, it's much faster.
Makes sense.
So
All right.
that's basically it. So I'm gonna assume that you kind of know these things, because you really can't. It's really hard to build things without knowing these things. But you might be able to follow along of what's going on. So like I will explain like. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, here, I'll explain. There's also something I missed, but is also very important that people use these days is TypeScript. Again, it's not a big change, but essentially what TypeScript is JavaScript is a language. JavaScript is one of the only languages you can directly work with the browser.
Okay.
So most front ends use JavaScript. Now the issue with JavaScript is that it doesn't have types. So when I have a variable, let's say I have JavaScript, right? Okay. So when I have a variable, let's say let a equal to 5, 6. Okay. There is no way for me to know what type A, like A. So like for example, I can do A equals to hello. So there's no way for me to know what type A is, right? I just changed the type. Now, what TypeScript allows you to do is have a type. So you can do this. I don't think it's integer; it's number. And here, when I run TypeScript, TypeScript will complain and be like, "Wait, this is a string. It's not a number."
Okay.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
And for big code bases, it's really important to have this consistency.
Right.
Because otherwise, it's easy to catch bugs this way. Which is why you kind of want to use TypeScript and not JavaScript. So this is generally the stack I'm gonna go for. It's also very common these days. So yeah, all right.
Okay.
The next thing is let's just talk more about how you're gonna do it, right? So you're gonna have a user that talks to an interface. Or UI. I'm gonna make it a UI, which is gonna go to the server, which is a Next.js server, and it's gonna store all the information in a database. All right.
Yep. Which database we're gonna use? Or
so,
doesn't matter for now.
Okay, we're actually going to use two databases. Two databases. So one database is to store information about the user. For that,
Right.
we're going to use a SQL database. Right now, I don't think it matters for now. Just some SQL database,
Yeah.
and we're also going to have something called a vector database.
For all the transcripts.
Yeah. So what a vector database does is it takes in data, right?
Mhm.
Converts it into something called an embedding.
Oh yeah.
Stores that embedding, and you store that embedding in a vector database.
Okay.
Right. So now what an embedding is embedding is basically it's a form of data in like vectorized form, and it's very easy to do search across it. Let's say you have a massive dump of data, and if you want to do search over the relevant parts of the data, you give it some text, and the vector database will give you similar text,
Okay.
right?
Makes sense.
Which is
In
what we
that-
want.
Yeah, in that space. Yeah. What do you call it?
So, oh, perfect. There you go. Yeah. So this is kind of this. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. What do you call the space? A three-dimensional
Embedding space.
Embedding space. There's one more
Latent
word.
space.
Latent space. Yes.
Yeah.
So data around that. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for
Yeah.
our summary app,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Eventually, okay, this is like we are going too far, but eventually, what I want to do is open source it
Yeah.
and let everyone use this locally.
Yeah.
So that
So
I'm not getting their like daily data, right?
all
So
of this
there's
will
no
all of
privacy.
this will work locally.
Oh, okay, perfect. From
all
day
of-
one.
Yeah. So let's choose. So and that's fine. It's a good constraint.
Right.
So let's add that constraint over here, right?
Yeah.
Everything should be able to run locally, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right, it's doable. What we can do is we can choose a you can have a simple SQL. So we can do something like SQLite, where it's very simple to host. You can
Okay.
just run it locally. Another one for vector database, we'll use Chroma.
Okay.
Chroma is another database that just is super tiny and just runs
Yeah.
locally. It's open source, and Next.js you can just run locally, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
So that's kind of our like high level technology plan, like architecture
sense.
plan.
Yeah.
Let's start. We can start with the UI
Yeah.
and the server. It's probably and that's to Next.js.
Okay.
Now let's start with. So currently, let's make something very simple, right? Let's not
Yeah.
even have authorization, no users,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Something very very simple. So let's start with something in Next.js. So we want a Next.js starter, TypeScript, and Tailwind. Oops. There we go. All right.
What are you looking for?
So I'm looking for. It takes a long time to set Tailwind and TypeScript with Next.js. So
Okay.
I'm just looking for like a boilerplate that starts with these things. I think like this is a bit too much. I never like these like extra. These give like this is too many
Yeah.
features. I just want something simple. Okay, then I'm just gonna go for Next.js. All right. Yeah, setting this up does take time. So, all right, now that we have Next.js, let's go to installation. Matic manual. So do you have npm?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
so we'll get that sorted.
So I think for Devon, like the first step,
Mm-hmm.
if you can do this directly in the IDE, that will be cool.
Yeah. As long as you trust it enough, but yeah.
As long as what?
You trust it enough to give it your complete root access. But other than that, yeah, if you're willing to take that risk,
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense.
we can make it so that after every command it will ask you what it's trying to do. But
Yeah. Right.
oh wow, so it comes with Tailwind by default. Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
So
Let's go. Are you live?
Yeah, we are live. Here. This is Rohit, Rohu Films. But Rohu is not filming right now.
alright, so we don't have npx. Let's
What is
get
NPX?
npm. Let's get npm and Node.js. So I'm guessing you also
Okay.
don't have Node.js. So let's
I
start.
have nothing.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. This is more very beginner friendly, right? Let's download Node. You are on a Mac, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have Brio? Let's see. Does this guy have Brio? Probably not. Yeah, you might want to start with Brio.
I'm just looking at. Oh, Anurag Sharma's TypeScript. Anurag is fan of TypeScript. The two people watching, I think one of them is me and another one is Anurag. Thank you, Anurag, for staying here.
Are you Elon Musk, like the user?
Yeah, I will. Edit, public, private, save. Okay, we're good.
So source. Also, we should go in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah?
we can
Ah.
go in like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It has been 21 minutes, so we can go in 9 minutes.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, the idea with first stream is to just get familiarized ourselves with everything that we are using. I'll go through some of the tutorials and the things that you have written down, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever we meet next, basically within 7 days, we want to finish this project.
Alright. Okay. So, we got Node installed.
Okay.
Let's see if we have npm now. We have npm, which means we can go and actually download everything here. Yep. Create next app. Yes, we want to create it. What's your project called? What do you want to call it?
Guide.
Guide?
Yes, GUID.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, I want to. Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Okay.
No. There we go. Alright, so yeah, it's installing, setting everything up, but until then, let's start talking about how we're gonna do all of this, right? Do you want a chat interface for all the?
Yes.
Yeah, so we want a chat interface as
Yes.
well. For that, let's have this set up. So we're gonna use Vercel's AI.
Okay.
Vercel's AI package, really helpful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What we could do all right, do we have this? All right, it's ready. So cd commit. So that's our code, and now we have. So here's our code. Here's everything. Now let's run this. So if you go to here, npm start. No such file or directory dot next. Dev. Let's see what script let's see how to run this. It's one of the scripts here. So if you have to do npm dev, npm run dev. Also, by the way, keep asking me questions. I'm just hoping like
I'm getting everything that you're doing. Couple of things. So you are basically installing all the.
Yeah, I installed everything.
What are these called? Packages, libraries.
Yeah, so we're using
frameworks.
something called Node.js.
Yeah.
Node.js is so JavaScript traditionally only ran on the browser. And this one guy was like, wait, what if we run it on the server? And he managed to run JavaScript on the server, and that's Node.js.
Okay.
And so Node.js has a package manager called npm.
npm.
And what npm job is to, like, when you do npm install, let's say next, it downloads the next library.
Okay.
And that's what it did. So I used something called npx, which is kind of a project setup tool. It sets up a Next.js project for me. So I did npx create next project, and it set up a next project for me. Are you familiar with package.json?
No.
Okay. So what package.json does is it kind of describes in your project what libraries you have.
Okay.
So these are the list of the libraries we have. It also has something called scripts, which is when you
Anish, come in if you want.
What are you guys doing?
We are live streaming.
Oh, we're live streaming.
Learning how to code.
Oh, that's cool.
so
Let's
Yeah.
watch.
Okay.
so this is these are kind of like your helper scripts to that npm gives access to for now.
Okay.
So what I did was I just did npm run dev,
Mm-hmm.
and that runs next dev behind the scenes, which in turn sets this up on localhost, which is Next.js starter.
Amazing. Okay.
Mhm. So
So
now
when Anish usually says like it's pushed on the local host.
this is
and,
localhost.
This is local host.
Yeah,
it's not
and in
live
build space
yet.
we get out of localhost.
Okay.
So that's what localhost means. Local, it's basically a server that runs on your laptop,
Right.
but no one else has access to it.
Okay, makes sense.
All right. So in Next.js, so this is how Next.js works.
Mhm.
I guess you're kind of new. You never used React, right?
I've never used any of these things.
Okay. Do you want me to go over?
So
how
what
it
we
is?
can do for now is
Yeah.
I'll go through all the tutorials.
Okay,
Because I
okay.
think that will be better.
Yeah, because
couple
that'll
of-
take me a long time.
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
Yeah.
And all the tutorials that you
Yeah.
will send me.
Mhm.
And next time when we meet, what we should do is create all the, I think not UI components, but like
Yeah. The
start
UI,
writing the
start writing the very
back
simple.
end of.
Yeah. Let's we can
and
do a very something very
sounds
simple.
good. So for that,
Yeah.
what do I need to go through for
Yes.
next time?
For next time, what you need to go through is number one, JavaScript. You need to know how JavaScript works.
Okay.
And if you want, we can have like a in between lecture where I teach JavaScript, basics of React, and Next.js.
Okay.
Yeah,
This will be like 1 or 2 hour.
1 to 2 hours.
Okay, sounds good. We can
Right.
do it at your or my place on like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
Like,
perfect.
we need to do that. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do that. And for that,
Mhm.
what should I prepare?
Should you prepare? Just brush up your Python skills.
Okay, sounds good.
Because a lot of this is gonna transfer over here.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Last time I used Python was 2018. So
Oh wow.
it
Yeah.
has been a long time.
Yeah. All right. There's also something called. This my brother's working on. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Okay.
What's his website? Instruct AI. I don't know if it's still there.
This one? No.
No,
this one.
it's not that.
Write his name behind it, probably.
No, I don't think they've gone. I don't know if it's public or not yet. But all right.
No worries, we can talk about it.
I
next
can
stream.
send him, but essentially that's you saw Free Code Camp, right? That's Free
Yeah,
Code
yeah.
Camp, but with like AI tutoring and helping you.
Oh,
So
amazing.
I feel like
amazing.
that's really perfect.
He has
for
just
this.
started building this.
Yeah.
Oh, this
yeah.
will be amazing.
Okay.
I
Alright.
think within like couple of months,
Yeah.
it's like how things work will be very different.
Oh yeah.
For example, like what we are doing right now is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
But let's say if I had Mihir with me online,
Mhm.
I ask him all the questions. It's already there, ChatGPT, right?
Yeah,
But in an interface where it's just voice, in an
Mhm.
interface where
Yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
much better
Much better.
experience, right?
Yeah.
So amazing. So I'll go through all the things,
Mhm.
and then we'll meet tomorrow or day after.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through more stuff.
Mhm.
And Bill Space is ending.
Yeah.
SF2 is ending on 5th of April.
Yeah.
So our deadline for this too, let's
Mhm.
keep it 5th of April. Before
Yeah.
that, before our final, before next Friday basically. So we have 6 days.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
If you have tuned in for this episode, don't forget to tune in for more episodes.
Mhm.
All right.